Alright, I'm going to make a quick video on how I make flashcards on LOs that aren't exactly covered in Anki deck. So for example, for me right now, we're doing anesthesia just on the side as part of our learning. So here's some of the LOs that we've got, right? And I had a quick look in Anki, and when I had a look in, I started looking at anesthesia. I couldn't really find, too much. There's not that many cards on what I wanted. So this is all on local anesthesia, but I also wanted the pain pathway, and I couldn't find much on that. So I'm going to show you how I would do it. So let's say I got my LOs here. I'm starting a new one now. So we've got this here. This is my LO that I want. What I'm going to do is I come to this website here. This is called Open Evidence. I personally like it better than ChatGPT for getting me just general physiology and stuff like that, just because it gives me exactly sort of what I want at a good level. ChatGPT usually goes into too much detail. So I've been going through here and giving it LOs, and as I've been doing that, I'll show you what I do. So I give it a new LO. And what's good about this is that it only pulls from good references, but it is American, so you have to deal with that when it comes to drugs and things like that. But you get the idea here. It's a little bit slow as well, but I don't really mind too much because it gives me exactly what I want, sort of to the level I want. Maybe I'll start this. So once you've got what you've got to realize with the flashcards is, because you're doing so many, you don't want to have the content be too hard to reach. So it's all about jogging your memory, not making you forget it over and over again. So when you have cards that you keep failing because they're too difficult, they're called leeches, and they're a waste of your time. I had about 800 of them that I recently just got rid of, and they were clogging up my card load, so that I was doing 100 to 200 of those cards every day. And if you make your cards the right way, then that won't happen. So, alright, I've got it here. Didn't quite work because it was busy. So what I'm going to do is I'll go back to ChatGPT. There's this one called Flashcard Generator Anki style. I made it. Make your own if you want, or use this one. It works alright. So I send it to it, and what it'll do is it'll probably create me. It's trained to make you really short, concise flashcards. Maybe my Wi-Fi is not working properly at the moment, because nothing's working. Let's have a look. Alright, cool, we're back. Let's try again. So as you can see, I've got these flashcards here. What I'm going to do is, if you haven't got it yet, you're going to need the Anki style flashcards, and I'll show you how to use them now. So this is what an Anki style flashcard looks like. Up the top here, you got your text, you got your extra, and your lecture notes. I like to use text, extra, and lecture notes pretty well for every card I make. So these cards here, they'll make you a front of cards. So you copy and paste that, bring it in here, paste it in. So I would go here, and it's made the cards with the closes already in it, but I sometimes like to add an extra close. So what I'll do is I'll come in here and we'll go change this to which order. I add another one. I bold it because when you can change it in the settings in here, in the general Anki overall, in the colors, you can change your bold, underlined and italic colors. So when you preview the card, you can see that it's like that. So I've got that here, and I'll write, I like to add myself a hint. You can add a hint by doing this. So I'll go first, second, or third, because I don't need to be digging up the information that there's 3 types. I just really want to be reading this and going, is that first or second or third type? So it's all about reducing that friction of finding the information. You still have to dig up the information and think about it, but that doesn't means it stops me that when I see this card in 2-3 months time, I'm not going, oh yeah, is there like 20 different orders? No, there's first, second or third. So then it's also extra revision. Then what I'll do is I'll add in the extra. So this is some extra information. So when you're coming through, you can read this and you go, oh yeah, there's some extra information about that one card. And then I come to the PowerPoint. So we've got the second order, first order. What I'll do is I'll give you an example. Is I put this one in, lecture notes. I can add this in as my lecture notes. What you want to do when you add an image into the Anki cards is you click it, and then you click this little button here, and it shows you how big it's actually going to be on your card, and then you can scale it down to smaller so you can see everything on the one card. So I scale it down to this size. Now if you toggle this little button over here, that means that when you add this card, that it will stay there. So I'll show you that in a sec, and then I'll just mention how to make a tag. So this is already one tag that I've got. Let's say that I wanted to add another tag, so I'd label it year 3 _3, and then I could label it whatever I wanted, lectures, and then another one that could be like pain. So you'd find that under year 3 lectures and pain. Anyway, so I'll add this card in, and as you can see, this lecture note has stayed there because I've toggled this little button here. I don't actually want it for the next one, but you get the idea. So I'm going to come back over to the ChatGPT, copy and paste it over, and then I'll add it in again. So first, second, third. See this one here, this closed one. I think this is too big. Right? See how it wants me to remember 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 words, when I could achieve the same level of understanding just by remembering 1. So that's way better when it comes to overall reducing your card load, because you only really want to be remembering snippets versus remembering just everything by rote. So I see Anki as we're actually remembering seeds of information versus just rote learning everything. And same with this one, make it a bit smaller. I like to do that. So I like to put hints in a lot and make them just single words so that it's a little bit easier to do the cards. Come in, add this in, don't need this, and I might come in and add the notes from second order as well. It's probably the only reason you'd get a Mac for this. It's just because it's quite quick, but I'm sure you can do it just as quick on a PC, but I just enjoy the Mac. So you're kind of following how I do it, and what I like about this Anki style generator is that if I give it 3 topics about these 1, 2, 3 things, it's probably only going to make it into 3 cards, and then when I'm making extra cards, if I want, I can actually just copy and paste these in. Let's say I wanted this. Right, that's a bad example. So let's say I wanted a card on something about I was not happy with this first order neurons card, and so I could be like, take this one, and then I'd make this into another card, and I'd be like, first order neurons, axons, synapse with. Right, and then I could turn around and make this into a card if I wanted to. And then I could add some extra information if I wanted to. So the other hack, if you're trying to bulk turn these out, and I probably shouldn't be showing you this because it's just going to make you terrible flashcards because you're not going to see them yourself. But here's the hack. So you go for the last cards, put them in a CSV file with the front being column 1 and the back being column 2. So what this should do is it'll put it in a file, and then you can take this and download it and then just import it, so then you don't have to manually do it. The problem is that that it's not exactly the best way to do it because you don't get to see the cards yourself. So yeah, it's not the best. No, that's all right. Didn't quite work, but you get the idea. I'll show you. There we go. You just tell it to give you the file. Let me try in a different ChatGPT instance. So what it should do is it should make it into two files, column 1, column 2. Column 1 is the front, column 2 is the back, and then you should just be able to import it. Like I was saying, it's not exactly being nice. Do your thing. Alright, here we go. So, desktop, then what you come and do is you'd come to Anki, and you go Tools, you go File, Import. Hopefully you can still hear me. We get this file, open it, and then you go comma, because it's a comma separated file, and so you choose the anki note type, tag these notes as test, tag them as hashtag, delete and so you can map them, and then I'll show you, so you can import them all, right, and then you show them in here. Now if you have a look, these cards are now in there, they're made. You didn't have to do anything, they function as a card, but as you can see, they don't have any bolding. You can't get bolding to work in CSV files. They're not perfectly written. I mean, if you could optimize your AI to do it well, then you could get away with it. But I would recommend just doing it by hand, because then you're going to get the best outcomes. So anyway, thanks for watching. I can't be bothered to edit this, to clip it, so hopefully you get something out of it. That's just my little method. You could do the same thing by looking up things with RACGP, doing that method as well. Anyway, have a good day.